going to call the March 11th, 2025 meeting of the City of Port Washington Board of Public Works to order. Roll call, we are down 2 members tonight, but we still have 3 of the 5 members, so we do have a quorum. So move on to item 2, approving the minutes of the previous meeting. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any comments? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We'll move on to item 3, public comments and appearances. Do we have any public comments or appearances tonight? Looks like no. So move on to item 4, consideration and possible action on award of the fuel line replacement at the marina. Roger?
All right, if you remember in 2023, we had a contract to install new fuel tanks at the marina. And at the time, we were intending on doing the fuel lines also, but bid prices and budget didn't allow us to do that. So we've repackaged the fuel lines and bid that as a separate project this year. And we had 3 people interested during the bidding process, but only one submitted a bid, which was Interstate Pump and Tank. They were the ones that also installed our fuel tank. So I think they're well qualified to do it. Their bid price was $98,765. Prior to that, we pre-purchased the dispensers because that's a long lead time, and we'd like to get these in before boating season. And then also a small amount for engineering. So if we total those 3 costs up, we're at $131,279. And our budgeted amount is $150,000, which also was our engineer's estimate. So with even though it's one bidder, they're a qualified firm. They did an excellent job on the fuel tanks, and the price being below budget and below engineer's estimate, we recommend that we award the contract.
All right, any comments or questions?
None for me.
No? In that case, I will entertain a motion to approve.
I would move to approve award the contract for, as suggested.
Turn your microphone on.
Move to approve the contract as suggested by staff.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, we will move on to item 5, consideration and possible action to approve a contract with M.E. Simpson for a water distribution leak survey.
Okay, so as part of our preventative maintenance future plan for the field distribution system, we want to complete a total leak detection on our all of the water main in the distribution system. So by doing this, we're also going to potentially get ahead of what might be coming down the pipe from the DNR as far as a mandatory leak detection. So the last 2 years, we've had over 15% of water loss percentage. If you have 3 years in a row of over 15%, they could require a leak detection. They also require a loss preventative maintenance plan, basically of what you're gonna do to prevent such water loss. So this is just good practice in general anyways, to kind of have your system tested, and it's gonna kind of coincide with the treatment plant being completed next year. So the thought is get the system leak detected to see if we have any chronic issues or some bad issues, and if so, we can fix them right away. And then between that and new plant meters, when the upgrades are complete, we'll have a pretty good idea of where our actual water loss is sitting. So Emmy Simpson is a company that I've used before multiple times. They do a really good job. They actually help us. They've helped us this winter with some of our water main breaks. They've come in and pinpointed some of our worst breaks that we've had. So their instruments are really good. Plus their staff is really good. They'll be able to go through the city in a couple weeks and do most of all the main, unless there's some issues that need more attention. So the goal is to get this approved so we can get on their schedule, hopefully for either middle spring or early summer, and see what they find.
I would move to approve a contract with Emmy Simpson and Company to complete a water distribution system leak survey.
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'd be willing to do the second. Could I ask a couple of questions first?
Well,
I know the motion.
the motion, it's, because the motion's been made, we either need a second and then we can
Okay,
do a
I'll
discussion.
second it.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second, so we'll do discussion on it, which Robert's rules would be big boards versus little boards, how you do it. We always behave like little board. Yes, you have a question? Go ahead.
Couple, just, I guess, back on. Have we ever had one of these? When was the last time we had one done? Have we ever had one done?
Yeah, the water department has had a leak detection done. It's been quite a few years. I don't know the exact year offhand, but it's been a while. Before, I want to say back in before 2010.
Okay. And secondly, you mentioned we have had 15% loss and 16%. Can you tell us what those were mostly to? Were they mostly water main breaks?
No. So water main breaks actually don't technically
count.
count on this number because we estimate for our potential loss with that. What we honestly really think it is our plant meters are off. So the plant meters are tested every year, and the company that we've used for years has had to recalibrate these meters every year. So without getting into too much of the science of meters, the lay lengths that we currently have with the current meters are causing problems with total pumpage numbers. So with the new upgrade and the new meters, they're going to be in a different spot with what we think proper lay length to accurately record what's going out of the plant. So to answer your question, partially meters, but then also it could be actually we have some leaks in the system that we just don't know about.
Okay. Thank you. That's all.
Questions, comments? All right, guess then we'll move on to the vote. All those. Seeing there's no other comments or questions, we'll move on to the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, we'll move on to item 6, consideration and possible action on award of the Spring Street Sanitary Sewer Interceptor.
Sure. Okay. So this is a project. So this is a project we've been working on for a number of years, and this really dates back to 2018 when we had our most recent extreme rain event where we had several backups along Spring Street, particularly the house on the corner of First and Spring. I don't know, Roger, you can correct me. Did we have one in 2020 there as well? I don't know. So Roger went and contacted, and anecdotally, by the reporting of the residents who live along there, they've all experienced sewer backups in the past during extreme wet weather. So what we have there is a bottleneck of where there's a 10-inch pipe collecting, I think a 15-inch and a 12-inch. Right, Roger? Correct me if I'm wrong, doing this by memory. So anyhow, So we've been working on this for a while with Strand. We in addition to the bottleneck that exists on Spring Street, once the sanitary sewer is in the We Energies right of way, where along the old Modern Equipment Building, making its way down to Park Street, it goes underneath the current Veolia building. And so that is something we certainly want to correct as well. If there were ever a problem and it was under the building, that would be a significant challenge. So best to have our sewer in the right of way. And so Roger's been working with We Energies, and of course our city attorney has too, to get that easement in order so that it is now will be in an easement all the way from Spring Street to Park Street. We had the bid opening on last week, Thursday. Thank you. And so the bid tabulation is included, and PTS, who is also our street contractor for this year, their low bid was $1,086,000. That's within the city's budgeted amount of $1.1 million. And so we are recommending it for approval. And the only other thing to note that I think is makes this project stand out, or another benefit of this project, in addition to no more sewer backups for those residents, and getting the sewer line out from underneath a private building, is that we are going to be building an access road up until the railroad tracks, and then we are going to pursue the possibility of getting a railroad crossing so that we can eventually move the bike trail off the street and through that easement. So hopefully that'll be coming, but we certainly Mike knows that it takes a while to get a crossing from the railroad and can be very expensive, so that'll be something we'll have to plan and budget for accordingly.
Yeah, and especially Union Pacific.
Yes. Yeah. So unless they decide to leave, but even then, it's hard.
Yeah. All right. We have any questions, comments at all? I do have a question. Not having seen the plans and looking purely off the line you have drawn on here. So it appears that along Spring Street, this is going to be offset to the west, so like in the parking lane of Spring Street where it's going to be constructed, and then the existing will be abandoned in place, I presume?
Yes.
Okay. So where we're connecting at first, I presume that there's something more going on there than just the diagonal shown, because otherwise you got sanitary coming northbound down Spring that needs to get there.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm just looking at your line here and like, that doesn't quite work.
I asked Roger to draw this up so that, because it's hard to describe, so that it does lack a few details.
Okay. No, that's the only comment I have. And yes, keep hounding the railroad, and it might go somewhere when the Sheboygan Power Plant closes down and they abandon the line.
You know when the power plant is closing?
It was supposed to close about 2 years ago. They keep pushing it off.
Okay.
All right. So any other comments or questions? All right. In that case, I will entertain a motion.
I will so move.
Motion by Alderman Tierney. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Board Member Haley. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Move on to item 7, staff monthly reports.
Okay. All right. I'll keep talking. So just going in order, starting with Public Works, I wrote a couple of short pieces on the public safety building, which I think is on the agenda for Tuesday night of the council meeting to approve an amendment to our agreement with CD Smith, which is a guaranteed, what's called a guaranteed maximum price for construction of the new police and fire building. Before council, that'll go to TGF. Also, next week, Tuesday, at our council meeting, we're looking forward to a presentation from Stantec on the planning report that was completed in December by Stantec using a $150,000 grant that we received from the Fund for Lake Michigan back in 2022. So Melissa Curran from Stantec will make that report Tuesday night, and we'll also provide an update on the work that we are currently engaging in on designing improvements to the watershed through a NIFWF grant, National Fish and Wildlife Foundation. And also, we have been awarded a $500,000 grant from the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law, which is administered through NOAA at the federal level and then through Wisconsin Coastal Management here in the state. So, so that's exciting news for us that we not only had that awarded, but we now have an agreement in hand, and so that will be on the council agenda also for Tuesday night.
So are these grants currently frozen or are they moving again?
To our knowledge, they are not frozen.
Okay. So do we have the consultants working or not?
We have paused the NIFWF work pending further information being received from the foundation. So we're hoping for some word one way or another to come soon. The idea is that we should know soon. What we did is we did submit for reimbursement on some of the work that we've done so far. And if they send us a check, then we'll keep working.
Okay.
So, yeah, so that'll be our test. Plus, as I think we talked about Tuesday night, if they've got millions of dollars out in grants, somebody's not going to get paid before us. So I think it shouldn't be long before we find out if they're making payments on the previously issued grants.
Yeah, it also looks like if they send the money electronically, move it into another account that they don't know the account number for to try to take it back.
So, yeah, I mean, we have these agreements in place, so I would think that they're safe and secure. I don't know how it would be frozen, so I just don't know. I don't think anybody knows for sure. Okay, and then just moving into Public Works, the engineers report. We awarded the contract for the library at our last Board of Public Works, and I believe it's been next Board of Public Works. Oh yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. For some reason, I'm confusing it. In any case, okay, yeah, the pre-bid meeting is scheduled. Sorry. Road improvement project. The pre-construction meeting scheduled for tomorrow, right? And this is an LRIP project, so we get $53,500 from the DOT towards this project, so that's good news. The lighthouse restoration project, the attorney's still reviewing. If there's anything else that's exciting here. Do you want to add, Rodney?
No, we're looking at doing like a May 1 groundbreaking for that when the mayor has the, I believe, the fourth graders for Mayor for the Day. So we'll do a groundbreaking for this project at that same time.
Yeah, yeah. Just, yeah, scrape off the first flake of paint, but make sure it doesn't go in the water. The street department, they've been removing snow. Hopefully that is over. Out cleaning catch basins, pruning trees, and making signs, including the sign in front of City Hall. So if you haven't noticed, we replaced the look of the sign here at City Hall and refurbished the inside. So the internally lit sign is again internally lit. Water plant or water department, we've continued to have some water main breaks. Hopefully they're done for a while. Water treatment project is moving along quickly. They're working on the roof now. And we have a couple new staff members there. Kyle Sabe and Chad Rathke are both working at the plant. Chad's in a new role as maintenance manager, so we're going to keep better track and better maintenance on our equipment there. And as Chad sets that up, we're hopeful that he can help us in other departments as well. Should I make that Dan's announcement? So Dan Bueller announced he'll be retiring in May, so we're sorry to see Dan go. But his job is being posted, I think today. So we'll have a new wastewater treatment plant superintendent. We'll miss Dan. He's done some great work down there, including the improvements that we're making right now. And it is, let's see, today's the 11th, so that means 20 more days until the marina opens. So that's good news. Dennis will be back later this month, and it'll be summer again. So I think that is all I have. I don't know if there's any questions.
I do have a question. For the block of Jackson Street that's closed, I saw the post on Facebook that we were going to repave that and replace the water main under it, and I don't know if there's some sanitary aspect. Are we essentially adding that onto the annual street project then?
Current plan right now is to bid that out with another miscellaneous sanitary sewer improvement we're making on Power Street.
Okay.
Yeah. So Roger is planning on getting that out in April? Probably May. Okay.
Are we-
We'll open the street. It'll be gravel for a while.
Okay. Are we reconstructing the street or just pulling up the asphalt and putting a new layer of asphalt down?
Just a new layer of asphalt unless the curb starts to fail and
Okay.
so otherwise it'll just be spot replacement of curb.
Okay. That's my
So,
question.
yeah. So hopefully with the frost coming out of the ground, any undermining that took place will show itself so we can make those repairs before a car falls into a depression in the street. But yeah, JD had some serious concerns about it, and so we decided to keep the road closed until we can test the street out.
Okay. Good. Any other comments or questions? No? All right. Then guess we'll move on. Chairman's business, I don't have any. Members liaisons business, don't see any. So we'll move on to item 10, public comments and appearances. Do we have any public comments and appearances for the second round? Looks like no. All right, our next meeting will be Tuesday, April 8th, 2025 at 5:30 in this very same chambers. And then I guess we'll look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Got a motion? You got a motion, a second? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We are adjourned.
Thank you.